This is going to be a basic workout to decompress the spine, stretch the piriformis muscle, and strengthen the glutes. Start with your feet hip width apart. Bring your toes in towards each other, heels out. Slight internal rotation. Check your knees, make sure they're not locked. Make sure that they are not bending forward. Legs straight, knees unlocked. Lengthen the front. Engage your back muscles to lift your chest up and stretch your abdominals all the way through, growing long through the spine, lengthening also tailbone to top of the spine, base of the skull. Shoulders pull back by squeezing the rhomboids. The shoulder blades come back towards each other. And we're going to have our thumbs at the base of the rib cage touching the last rib. The pinky at the top of the hip touching the bone. As we inhale, we're going to get the thumb to move up away from the pinky. The ribs up away from the pelvis. As you exhale, try to keep your height. Pull the belly in and exhale the air by contracting your abdominals. On the next inhale, try to get even higher up with the torso. Squeeze tight on the exhales. And think of the breath not only elevating the torso up away from the hips, creating length on the low back, on the spine, but also expanding the breath forward, sideways, and back. Posterior breathing. Think of the shoulders going back, but the elbows going wide. And breathe into this 360-degree balloon that elevates up. Let's keep going. Big breath in. Big breath out. Get some length on your spine. Big breath in. Check your feet. Make sure the toes are in, heels are out. Check the knees, not bending forward, not locked. Keep the knees back. Start to pull your hips back just a little bit, enough that you feel your paraspinal muscles, your posterior chain engaging, glutes, hamstrings. You don't have to go all the way into a full hinge. You can just do a little mini hinge here, just enough that you feel your low back starts to engage, your glutes, and your hamstrings, the back of the legs. Keep breathing the chest up, lengthen through the spine. If you can hinge back a little bit more, great. Otherwise, come back. If you feel too much extension or any pinching on the low back, this is where we tuck the tailbone in. We squeeze the hip flexors a little bit, engage a little bit of that lower belly to tuck the tailbone and flatten out the spine. We're not tucking so much that we round. We're keeping the spine nice and extended. One more big breath here. And release. Shake that off. Let's go right foot forward, left foot back. And again, toes slightly in, heels wider than the pinky toe. Check your knees, neither too bent nor locked. And then check your hips. Think of those 3 dimensions of the hip. Forward and back, up and down, tuck or tilt. So we want to find the 3-dimensional square, perfectly squared hips. And then again, we're lengthening the front, we're lengthening the back. Everything is still the same. Open through the chest, shoulders back, engage your rhomboids. You can use your measuring sticks here, thumb and pinky. Shoulders back, elbows wide. Check the knees. Big breaths. You could also go into what's called the long wing, opening the arms to the side and externally rotating, opening the palms, opening the fingers. From this strong position, the upper body doesn't change, just the hip joint opens as we bring the weight forward to the right foot. You don't have to come this far. You can maybe do a little bit less, but the idea is find your right hamstring, find your glute, into the engagement of that right leg. The weight is coming on the right leg, maybe 80-20 or 70-30 or 90-10. Once you feel like you got that position, check the spine, make sure that you're still nicely vertical here. Avoid looking forward or up. Try to keep the chin down so that the back of the neck stays long. And when you're ready, you just step forward and switch it up. Step the right foot back. And we just go for that basic 3 points of contact on the left foot, big toe, little toe, heel. 2 points on the back. The heel's off the ground, not crazy high, just about halfway, 2 to 3 inches. Find the position of the pelvis. Whatever you feel, if it's straight, make sure the knees are straight and unlocked. And then from here we decompress, either measuring sticks or long wing, or we could even do a short wing here, bending the elbows, but still pushing everything back, stretching the pecs, stretching the abs, getting the hands and the elbows behind your peripheral vision, opening the palms, praying the fingers. When you're ready, you hinge at the hips. You make sure that left hip goes back just as much as the right. And just watch your breath here. Keep decompressing the spine, decompressing the torso up away from the hips. And when you're ready, just simply step forward. Now we're going to do right foot forward again, left foot back. And this time we're not only going to hinge, but also rotate, woodpecker rotation, coming back to center. So let's set it up, same. 3 points on the front, 2 on the back, heel off the ground. Knees, hips, spine, finding maximum expansion, decompression, breathing, hands in position, measuring sticks, long wing, short wing. Let's go into the hinge, find the right hamstring, the right glute. Hold it here, breathe. Now, we want to turn at the pelvis, not so much with the torso. So make sure the pelvis is leading the movement. Right hip back, left hip forward, kind of forward, down, and in towards that right knee. We're looking for a stretch of the piriformis here, and we're strengthening the glutes. Come back to center. When you come back to center, don't go all the way past. Let's turn again into the rotation. Should feel a nice stretch and engaging of that glute. Come back to center, and we'll do it 1/3 time. Here, turning to the right, keeping the big toe of the right foot down. Back to center, step it forward, switching it up for the last one here, left side. Decompress, check your alignment. Find your position of the hands and the shoulders. When you're ready, into the hinge, find the weight on that left leg. Find that left glute. Into the rotation. Left hip pulls back. Left glute engage. Left piriformis stretching. Right hip going forward and down towards that left knee. The spine rotates after the pelvis. Pelvis leads the movement. Torso and spine follow. Coming back to center. Reset. Into the rotation. One more time back to center. Hips first, torso follows. And come back to center. Step forward. And now we're just going to do a counter pose, which is going to be a child pose on the ground. So bring yourself down to the ground. Big toes touching, knees apart. You can go as wide as your yoga mat or a little bit wider. And we're simply going to drop the torso down, shoulders down, arms stretching forward, forehead on the ground, tuck the chin in. Breathe into your back. Walk your hands to the right. Torso follows, head follows, folding over that right thigh. Bring it back to center, reset that spine long, maybe crawl your fingers forward. Hips heavy, torso heavy, arms heavy. And walk the hands to the left side now, torso and head follow, folding over the left thigh. One more breath here. And bring it back to center. One more time, reset, long spine. You can stay here for as long as you like, and when you're ready, you're simply going to come up and go on with your day.